This is the 2023 NFL Draft Name Game. This year, teams can select a cradle, a kipper, a Kuntz, and a key. But this key is a lock to not be picked. There's a bass, no relation. A Biggers and a Beach. There's a Barbie and lots of Kens. There's a Barrow, who's not a big wheel. A Bragg, who's nothing to brag about. And a Baskerville, who appears to be a real hound. There's a Worship and a Godbout and a guy whose first name is Praise. Draft a Mingo and a Ringo. There's a defensive tackle from South Carolina named Pickens, who's definitely not slim. And a defensive player named Dennis, who is certainly no menace. Select two guys named Bird or one guy named Bush. So are two birds in the hand worth one of a bush? You can choose a Mappo, a Metz, or a Mutton. A Maper, a Mose, or a Muse. But this Muse may have a better chance of being on the morning show on the ticket than in the NFL. You want to pick up something strange? Then select Penn State tight end Benson Strange. Is that my phone?
No.
It can't be.
Yes.
Yes, it can be.
Yes, it is. What's happening here?
Goodness.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Stop. What's happening?
It's ringing.
Stop. Okay, there it is.
Hey, stop.
Keep telling it to stop.
Okay.
What's happening?
Okay.
That was just a slight intermission.
Yes.
Now we're back. Everyone, take your seats. Back to where you need to be. We will continue the 2023 NFL Draft Name Game. Act 2.
When I was so rudely interrupted, I had just mentioned Penn State tight end Benson Strange. You can draft a player from Baylor named Player, whose rating suggests he's actually not a player. There are 2 branches, 3 battles, 4 flowers, a land, a lug, who is one, and don't forget a Lacey.
Remembering Lacey.
You can grab a Sap, a Strong, a Sweat, or a Speed. Michigan State cornerback Amir Speed, who doesn't have enough. There's a good Auburn linebacker named To'o To'o. Henry To'o To'o. A Delaware safety named Noah Plack. Plack. Or a Kansas State defensive tackle, Jalen Pickle. I love this guy. Want to drive Brad Sham crazy? Okay, let's have the Cowboys draft Northwestern edge rusher Adetomiwa Adibare, or Oregon offensive tackle Malasola Amuveye Laulu, or Yale edge rusher Osoro Chukwa Ifesin Achukwa. There's a Crumb, a Gay, and a Bobo, a Bones, 2 Cocks, and a Hooker. Take a Fry and a Cook. And how about adding a Pool? Arkansas linebacker Bumper Pool. That's right. Bumper Pool. And finally, there's a guard from Duke whose name literally and perfectly summarizes his possibility of being taken in the draft. His name? Chance Little. And that's your name game. Along with a phone call.
Wow. Oh, we have a standing ovation in the crowd. They're throwing roses on the stage. Norm takes a bow. The 2023, they left a message. 2023 NFL draft name game that we will hear again, probably with the phone call included.
Vanity break.
Okay. I looked over and I saw you laugh when I mentioned the guy Key, who is a lock to not be picked.
I like it.
Hello.
I like everything about it.
But you might.
Except the phone call.
youtube.com/@sportsgreek.
I came up with a little game. I think I invented this, but I looked at all the names that were available in the NFL draft
Oh, okay.
to be drafted. Not all these people will be drafted, but they're all available to be drafted. They're eligible. And this game, I call it the name game. And I'd like to present it to you guys right now.
That's a great name for this.
All right. Copyrighted by the Hang Zone. Here we go. In the 2023 NFL Draft, you could get 6 greens, 5 browns, 1 gray, 1 white, but just like the first draft I covered in 1937, there are no blacks. Get a Bobo, a Bowser, or a Bull, a Follow, a Fihoka, or a Filiaga. Although February is in the rearview mirror, you may want to pick a Valentine. Carrington Valentine, cornerback, Kentucky.
Yes.
You could pick 2 Banks, 2 Bells, and you could say, "Let's go, Brandon," 4 times. In this year's draft, you can get a John, George, and a Ringo, but no Paul. You can get a Shaq, but no Kobe. Or you can get a Titus, but no Tate. Maybe you'd like to play some bumper pool. Well, then just draft a guy named Bumper Pool. His first name is Bumper. His last name is Pool. Frito. He's a linebacker from Arkansas. You can pick 2 Flowers, Zay or Trayvon. You can get 2 Coopers or a Manning. You could ring 2 bells and take your bounty to 2 Banks. If your defense is slow, then why not add some speed? Amir Speed, cornerback from Michigan State. If you're one of the very few fans of the Hang Zone, you can grab a Dan, Jake, Blake, Matt, and a Ty. Choose a Gwynn, a Gibson, or a Gindorf. A Ricks, a Hicks, or a Wicks. It is 2023, so maybe your franchise has gone woke. Well, if that's the case, then you could draft a Gay. Ali Gay, defensive end from LSU. In fact, he is an edge rusher, so I'm sure there's a joke there somewhere, but we'll stay away from that one. Rough. If you'd like a player that can do more than just football, there's a baker, a barber, and a cook. I read a lot of books, so I realize Muhammad is the most popular name in the world, but somehow there's just one Muhammad in this draft. If looking at Texas maps is a hobby, then you'll be excited to learn you could draft a Paris, an Austin, a Richardson, and a Dallas. Get a Zetner, a Zirer, or a Zavala. An Ojukwu, an Ojamo, or an Oluwatimi. There are 4 DJs, 3 CJs, 2 TJs, an AJ, EJ, MJ, KJ, PJ. And since it is a long weekend, you may want to get 2 BJs. And you can do so because there are 2 players named BJ. You get it? So you could get 2 of those over the weekend.
Yep.
Hello.
Do you like the beach? Well, you might be saying, there's no beach in Kansas City, Norm. I mean, Dan. And I'd tell you that there is a beach in Kansas City. Tyler Beach, Guard, Wisconsin. Some GMs might want to take a gamble. And they can. Kamor Gamble, tight end, FSU. But since he's not even ranked in the top 10 for tight ends, choosing him would be a real gamble. Rough. Finally, Frito, in this year's draft, there are 11 Johnsons, a Bush, and a Cox. Or you could get all those players wrapped up in one by having an orgy. Anthony Orgy, outside linebacker, Vanderbilt. And that is the 2023 NFL
Well done.
draft.
The crowd loved it.
Named.
All right, let's find out why Today Doesn't Suck next.
A Hang Zone production.